Well, we have 11 days off, so here I am visiting another Fulbrighter in beautiful Gran Canaria. I have this beautiful view of the ocean. Just kidding. I didn't have like a beachfront property to show you, but it is pretty here. In case you haven't seen House Hunters International,
Net's quit her job and her son's off to college, so she's leaving California to find her paradise.
Free and single. It's very exciting.
You're never, ever going to visit a place like this.
But Barbara may not be ready to hear what Michael has to say. She's about to embark on a journey to the place where she met the love of her life. But this new couple is finding compromise to be their biggest challenge.
the Canary Islands are Spanish islands off the coast of Morocco or Western Sahara, but that's a touchy subject for you to Google. You may have heard recently Spain is set to pass Japan for the highest life expectancy by 2040. Thank you for that 21-year in advance prediction. It's an odd headline, right? Given my experience as an American in Andorra, I think I'm totally qualified to corroborate or crush the validity of any of these headlines. Spain Health Report Card. Based on these factors, the report says that the Spaniard life expectancy is skyrocketing and the American one is plummeting. So let's take a look. Food. The unseasoned food here does not consist of vegetables, mostly meat and starches. Don't listen to the hype about how Americans eat a ton of frozen packaged food, because it definitely exists here. There's a ton of it. On the plus side, there's a lot of olive oil, they eat a lot of fish, and everything here is a lot fresher, even if it's full of fat and sugar. I'd give it a B+. The US I'd give a C+, because we eat a lot of low quality food, but at least we have a lot of health conscious people starting food movements. Tobacco use. I've seen people chain smoking while taking their babies for a walk. Despite these horrifying warnings that are required on each tobacco product, 25 to 50% of Spaniards smoke. Truly. So, F-. And the US gets an A-. We were on our way to getting rid of cigarettes, but then came hookah. Cultural appropriation kills. Drinking alcohol. Beer here is sometimes cheaper than water. They drink often. But if they were to drink like Americans, which is to say not every day, but when they do, binging, they wouldn't be able to keep up. So an A+ for Spain, a glass of wine a day, I guess it's good for you. And C- for America. High blood pressure. Siesta really is a thing here. People have month-long vacations. It's like they actually value taking your time to live your life. People don't care. You curse every 5 words. People walk around the beach butt naked. I was walking to the beach the other day. I had some pants on, and I look over and I just see a beach full of 80-year-olds with sunburned beer bellies, hair coming out of their Speedos like straw from a scarecrow. They don't care. Women changing their bikinis in public. They don't care. Bare naked children running around getting their squishy parts all exfoliated by sand. After a while, all the bodies just kind of look genderless because everybody's just wearing like a Speedo with no top. So I was over here trying to cover up my immodestly exposed ankles. Forgot about topless beaches. This is Europe. Except really it's literally Africa, but okay. Speaking of colonization. If you're not white or white passing, you're just kind of not considered Spanish, so you will be subject to. And it's Carnaval right now, which is kind of like a month-long Mardi Gras plus Halloween celebration. So people are dressing up in all sorts of respectful costumes, such as Asian, blackfacemen, and no one calls them out on it, so they ain't stressed about it. Now, the non-white Spaniards might be slowly dying of racism on the inside, but they aren't the majority, so it doesn't really affect the average life expectancy. Also, Spaniards of all races say that racism doesn't exist here, only in America. Healthcare is another factor. I had a friend who needed surgery on a deviated septum. It cost her like 80 euro. Speaking of money, it's pretty uncommon to move out of mom's house before marriage because, 1, a person at Burger King will make as much money as a teacher, which is actually a pretty decent salary. So 2, there's no motivation to move up in the world, so to speak. An unfunny joke here, a married woman with 2 kids actually has 3 kids. Oh, good one, Raquel. See, I'm not interested in marrying my son. So, I give a very reluctant A- here because it hurts me that I actually do know some 40-year-old men here who still haven't learned what responsibility means. And people aren't stressed about many problems because they pretend they don't exist. Privilege. It tastes so sweet. And a D- for Americans because stress is just the standard. There are a limited amount of resources and you need to constantly prove why you deserve to have any of them. So, in the end, does it actually make sense that Spaniards live longer? I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see in 2040. Bottom line, Americans, we're set to live only an extra year longer by 2040, whereas the rest of the world is set to live 4.5 years longer. Spend less time stressing and more time living that colonizer mentality. I'll chill all the time. What do you think that we need to do to improve the American life expectancy by 2040? What do you think about the American lifestyle in comparison to how you live or any countries that you've traveled to? Comment below. A real update coming soon. Stay tuned. Adeu.